Oh my gosh, it was amazing. My heart just blew open and I could feel so much love, so much connection. Hi, my little llamas, it's TheSalmaLlama, your spiritual bestie, and I'm here to help you create the life of your dreams. So make sure to subscribe. Today, I'm gonna share a story with you because I just want to show you how the universe and your spirit guides literally guide you to everything that you need. They always guide you to the next step and bring you closer and closer to love and closer to the life that you truly want to have and are meant to have. For the last year, the universe has been guiding me to healing all of my chakras, and in a specific order, starting at the first one, the root chakra. I actually made another video about some root chakra healing. I'll post it up here somewhere if you want to check that out. In this story, it's guiding me to healing something in my sacral chakra that I didn't know was there. This is how it started. My dad had wanted me to go to Hawaii and house sit, but I literally didn't know until 2 days before he was leaving because he wasn't sure if he was going on a trip. Since his whole house was empty, I called up my 2 best friends and I asked them if they wanted to go. They were down, so we all went to Hawaii. Usually for all of us, before we go, we get signs about Hawaii before we even get invited to go or told that we're going. Maybe I'll see the Hawaiian Islands on a car, or I'll see 808 because it's the area code, my friends as well. So we all knew we were supposed to be there, and we were just kind of like, okay, what does the universe have planned for us since we're all meant to be here for a reason? So while we were there, we started noticing these weird synchronicities where we would go places and we would constantly see people that looked like our exes. Every single one of us had this experience more than one time. So we knew, okay, something is up. What is the universe trying to tell us? Why are we seeing people that look like our ex-lovers? After that, we went to this place we like to go to kind of like meditate and be in peace. And there is this beautiful labyrinth there with all of these ancient trees, I think hold a lot of wisdom and speak to you if you're really paying attention and listening. As I'm walking through the labyrinth, I'm just thinking, why am I here? Why are these exes popping up? What is happening? Oh, and something I forgot to mention is that same day, I had a subconscious healing session with one of my subscribers that I actually ran into at the grocery store. Another synchronicity set up by the universe to help me on my beautiful journey. So anyways, I had a session with her that we had planned a couple weeks prior, and I didn't know what the session was going to be about. It's also like your subconscious mind, so you don't know what's in there anyways. I'm walking around this labyrinth, kind of just putting out the question, what am I supposed to heal? Why am I here? Why are we seeing our exes? The response that I got back was sexual healing. And I didn't really know what that meant. I just thought like maybe it was the energy of our lovers coming out of our body. I didn't really know. That was the first breadcrumb that I received. Later that day, I am doing my session with my friend. It's really hard to remember because when I'm being guided through a meditation or through some sort of session, I really do meditate a lot. So I try to get out of the way. I try to really let go so I can have a hard time remembering what happened. That's why I'm not going to be very great at explaining this. She would kind of ask me questions, and then I could feel in my body when she was getting closer to what this thing was in my body that needed to be healed and farther away. And all I could tell her was, okay, it's in my second center and the trees said sexual healing. That's how we began the session. I had no idea what was there. So at some point during the session, she like kind of dinged what needed to be dinged for something to emerge within me. It came to my consciousness suddenly that this is from another life. It's not even from this life. And it's this fear feeling that I constantly feel throughout the day that I thought was natural and normal because I've been feeling it my whole life. But it's almost like that feeling when you're going up a roller coaster and you're about to drop, that dropping stomach feeling. I just like thought that that was part of existing, and I would feel that like every day, several times a day when things would happen. So suddenly something came to my consciousness and it was like, it's from another life. It was like somebody stuck something sharp like a sword through my womanly parts and up into my body. I also had this thing arise to my consciousness of fear of being a woman. So those were all the clues that I had. And then after that, I instantly knew I have this friend in Hawaii. She called me a few months prior. She's very intuitive herself. telling me that there is this sacred spot in Hawaii that she knows that she's supposed to take me to and that we're supposed to have a ceremony there. I honestly didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, a few months prior, didn't think of it. During this session, I immediately knew. My friend was the one to help me get this into my consciousness and be aware of something that happened to me that's going on. But going to this spot that my friend told me about is where the healing is going to happen. So I called my friend right after the session. I tell her, she's like, okay, let's go tomorrow. So she comes over, my two friends are there, we're all chatting. And then she shares this story of how she was in Europe years and years ago, and she had entered this town, and suddenly when she entered this town, she was feeling weird. She literally, like, I think had a heart attack or something and got rushed off to the hospital. While she was rushed off to the hospital, she was having these visions and seeing a life that had happened in that town. And she was a woman that was empowering other women. And there were several women that were also in that circle that were empowering women. And they all got massacred because they didn't want women to have that sort of power back then and to speak up for themselves. And she said that one of them, she had to watch all of them get murdered first before they murdered her. And that one of them had a sword put up her, you know what? Maybe that was me, I don't know, but that was the feeling that I got in my session. And then the next day she comes over and shares the story, and I was just like, oh my God, that's literally what I felt. You know, me and this woman, the first time we met, I started just crying. I didn't even know why. And this happens to me when a person or a thing is going to change my life in a huge way, or we have a really deep connection that my soul knows about, but I don't consciously know about yet. I think we have obviously known each other from other lifetimes. The picture was becoming clearer because I had my session the day prior and felt that, and then she mentions it the next day. My mind was kind of blown. We ended up going to this beautiful sacred spot. At first we all went and just kind of like did what we intuitively felt we needed to do. I just kind of walked around and let the energy sink in. I asked the universe and my spirit guides to just guide me through this experience and whatever is supposed to happen. Then we decided to do some rape while we were there and just go into meditation. I allowed my friend to use her intuition to serve me because I'm a baby. I'm gonna want like the littlest amount versus what is meant for me. She served us all. When she served me, it was only, I think, my second time ever doing it. It was intense. I definitely had like wasabi in my brain and in my nose, but it was exactly what I needed. Immediately after I did the rape, my whole body felt like it was releasing something. I was told to lay down and to just relax. Honestly, I was trying to relax as much as I could, but I couldn't relax. My body was moving up and down and my muscles and things were like slightly convulsing, and I could feel whatever it was slowly starting to come out of my body. That fear of being a woman from the other lifetime and the way I was murdered from that other lifetime was coming out of my body, but it literally felt like it was glued to me and somebody was pulling it off and it was still sticking to me. It was very, very slow. I was honestly like laying there sweating, my eyes closed, trying to stay relaxed, and I constantly would hear relax, receive, relax, receive. I kind of thought I was making it up. I realized I wasn't, but I was trying to relax. My body was convulsing. It was definitely a very trapped emotion, trapped trauma to release. That's probably been the most intense one physically like that I've ever had. After almost like 45 minutes go by, I sit up, I see my friend, her eyes are open, she's not meditating. And I just go up to her and I'm like, can you help me? This is really intense. It's so uncomfortable. Like my muscles and everything just keep tightening as this energy is like slowly moving up my body, and I can like feel where it is as it's moving up. A lot of the times for me, like energy will move up into my crown and out, and then that's it, going back to love, back to the divine, and creating new space in my body for something new, something more loving. She does Reiki. So she ended up helping me move the energy a little bit with her Reiki, and she said she heard relax and receive and to stop trying to rush it. And once she said that, it gave me confirmation that I was really hearing the words relax, receive. After that, I was able to relax a little bit more and just kind of let go. I almost thought, oh, if I don't release this right now, it's not gonna be released. And then I realized, wait a minute, feminine energy works differently. Feminine energy is more something that happens over time versus immediately like the masculine. And I have released something in a masculine way before where it's just like, okay, It's happening now, it's out, it's completely gone. And that's just what I thought needed to happen. And after talking to my friend, I realized, okay, I can just relax. It is happening. I don't need to worry about the process. I do have a connection with trees and plants. Sometimes I can feel them or hear them talking to me. There's a tree there. This tree told me to come to it and hold it. Once I got up, I realized I was really dizzy and completely just out of my body because so much energy had moved. So I went to the tree and just like literally hugged the tree and put all my body weight on it for about 10 minutes. And then one of my friends drove home because I couldn't drive home. I felt like I had just spun around in 200 circles and I was still coming back to this dimension and planet. As the evening went on, I just felt kind of funny and off, almost irritated. Like if you get a cut and it's healing, you don't want anybody to touch the cut. That's what it felt like, but on an energetic level. I didn't know what to do with myself. I just knew I was irritated. So I told my friends, don't mind me. I'm just feeling irritated, so don't take anything personally. I think it's just the energy that's processing out of my body. So the next day I wake up, another one of my lovely YouTube subscribers ends up sending me this amazing Dr. Joe heart meditation. Me and my two friends, we all sit down together and we decide to do this meditation. I'm doing this meditation and oh my gosh, it was amazing. My heart just blew open and I could feel so much love, so much connection. I literally was at the point to where it just felt like the ultimate point, to where you literally feel your connection to everything and everyone and the universe and that unlimited love. And I could feel it emanating through my whole being and through my heart. And I could even feel an invisible force field around my body that was pure love. As I'm also doing this meditation, this is really random, but I feel my future man. I have yet to meet him in real life, but I could feel his energy and his presence, and I could feel that on an energetic level, we were already together and communicating with each other. So that was just really surprising. And I was like in the most intuitive, connected state that I could possibly be in, or that I've literally ever been in. So after the meditation, I realized I could clearly receive messages. So when my friends and I were like, what should we do today? I would just hear, this is what you're supposed to do today. Go to the stream and then go to Haleakala. So I told them and my friends were like, okay, perfect, divinely guided. The universe is just guiding us and telling us what to do in so many different ways. So let's do it. We ended up going to this beautiful stream. We now call it the Goddess Spa because we had the most beautiful experience there. It was like the water was cold and the rocks were hot and the sun was out. We all had these blissful experiences. We all were in our own little area, meditating, zoning out, being one with everything and enjoying it, being in its presence. Oh my gosh, I was so blissed out from the energy. And like this happens when you're guided to places, because these places are inviting you there and they have something there for you to share with you. I mean, we showed up with love in our hearts and that's what we brought energetically to that place. And then that place, because everything is consciousness and everything is at its core is love, if you're able to receive it, then you will receive it. So I remember just laying there and like putting my head in the water. I went into this hysterical laugh that I could not control. It went through my whole body. I could not stop laughing and I was just awed by the beauty of everything. Pretty much during that experience, we just all came out of there like we had just been cradled in the universe's arms, like full of love, blissed out. Like we just received a massage, just so peaceful. We were told to go to this mountain called Haleakala, and when you get to the top, you're above the clouds, so you can like watch the sunrise or the sunset there. We went for the sunset because we were guided to go. And again, there's a little park ranger. You're supposed to pay to get in. When we got to the park ranger to pay to get in, her machine went down, so she just let us go through for free. Then when you get to the top, it's really hard to find parking. Before the sun has set, nobody ever leaves before the sun has set because people go for the sunset. So we get to the top, parking lot's full, and then somebody decides to just pull out and leave. So we get the parking spot right there because we were guided there and we were meant to be there. So we got in for free and our parking spot was like in the best place. And we got to enjoy the beautiful sunset and just receive whatever we were meant to receive there. And it was just so amazing. And I can't share every detail of this trip because this video would be 2 hours long. We all realized during this trip, we were all meant to go to Maui to heal things that maybe were not healed within us in our second energy center or our sacral chakra, as well as learn to connect to our feminine energy and be in our flow. We all have masculine energy and feminine energy. And on that trip, we learned what it was to just receive. We would get a sign or guided to go somewhere, and then we would just show up. There wasn't anything that we had to do. We just had to be there, and then things would happen to where we would receive things energetically or even in the 3D world. When we came home from Haleakala, somebody that works for my dad brought us this beautiful platter of food with flowers on it, and it was just so beautiful. And we were just like, look at the universe just taking care of us. Look at us just being super feminine and flowy, and everything is coming to us. We learned more about the energy of the feminine during that trip. So moral of the story, listen to the guidance of your spirit guides in the universe, be aware of the signs and the synchronicities, pay attention to your intuitions, any messages, any downloads that you get. Take action when you're supposed to. If you're supposed to go somewhere and see what the universe has planned for you, because it's going to be beautiful. After that trip, I never felt that feeling, that dropping feeling of fear ever again. It just disappeared. I didn't even know that it was a problem until I realized it was. And then I never felt it again after it was released, which was amazing. So now my stomach doesn't just drop out of the blue several times a day from fear from another life. And I wouldn't have been able to heal that or know about that if the universe wasn't guiding me and connecting me more to love. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you want to hear more about the universe, signs, and synchronicities, make sure to subscribe. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.